So what databases were used and searched? So for our group, the search strategy involved using the databases supplied by Capital University, which included Google Scholar, PubMed, Medline, and ProQuest. And the researchers used a large collection of databases uh, on the Blackmore online library. So what were the relevant search terms used? So when utilizing these databases, the terms searched for were caffeine, coffee, and caffeine consumption. When searching for terms related to cognition, the terms searched were dementia, Alzheimer's, and cognition. Cognition was further broken down into cognitive function, performance, and impairment. Once these articles were collected, the researchers then combined the terms. For instance, articles or journals utilizing the terms caffeine and dementia in the title were subsequently collected. And then further selections of the type of articles were conducted by reading the titles and abstracts. And that's essentially how the articles were selected. And once those titles and abstracts that incorporate the specific search criteria that we just identified, we then deemed them compatible by the committee. Other criteria involved in finding the articles we were looking for articles that utilized a randomized control trial, meta-analyses of observational studies, or systematic reviews. So what are the inclusion and inclusion criteria? The inclusion criteria utilized for the study involved finding articles that directly related to either dementia or caffeine. In terms of specific criteria, articles that found meta-analyses of randomized control trials, meta-analyses of observational studies, or systematic reviews. Exclusion criteria involved removing articles that involved a non-randomized control trial, case studies, or observational reviews that are strictly observational reviews. Articles that were evaluating a number of exposures, multiple exposures from caffeine, except coffee and tea were excluded, so like that'd be chocolate or other things that we have in our daily life that contain caffeine, because we had the inability to be able to prove that caffeine had a single effect on cognition. Articles that involved a discussion around ice cream, candy bars, and soda drinks were excluded as well. And part of the selection process, again, I'll just go over this. The articles and the number of articles appraised were 4, and the ones that we chose were the caffeine intake from coffee or tea and cognitive disorders, a meta-analysis of observational studies. We selected coffee consumption, risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease, a dose-response meta-analysis. Our next was coffee, caffeine, and health outcomes, an umbrella review. And our final selected article was caffeine intake, dementia, systematic review, and meta-analysis.